Many hospitals have been using a disinfectant called Oxycide to prevent the spread of disease. The only problem is that the cleaner has now been linked to huge problems of lung problems that doctors and nurses are suffering with, entire staffs are suffering with. I have Scott Hardy, the president of Top Class Actions, joining me now to explain what's going on. Scott, you know, this is your specialty. You see these kinds of cases come down the pipe all the time. This is an odd one. Here you got entire medical staffs. You've got doctors and nurses and everybody working around the hospital believing that Oxycide is there to make them safe. Give me your take on it.
Sure. So Oxycide was created by Ecolab, you know, a massive industrial cleaning company, and they came out with Oxycide to battle things like C. diff. C. diff is really hard to kill. So they made this super strong cleaning solution that at first, to actually use it, the hospital workers, the cleaners there would have to put on full protective gear and, you know, masks, gloves, and then be able to clean these rooms to battle things like C. diff. But now they've found that it's very dangerous. And so Ecolab came out and said, okay, we've got Oxycide, now we're gonna start diluting it. So you can buy this special diluter, and at that point, the cleaners no longer have to wear or are required to wear N95 masks because of the strong fumes. So then they use this and they wipe it down, and it actually stays wet for at least 3 minutes, and that's intentional to continue to disinfect and kill these bacteria like C. diff.
So, Scott, the problem you have, I mean, as we said, you got doctors, nurses, patients who are on their deathbed sometimes. Their immune system is really, really in bad shape. And so now you're spraying Oxycide all over the area where they're in the hospital. So it's not just doctors and nurses, it's patients too. What are the long-term effects of Oxycide?
We're seeing that doctors, nurses, janitorial workers, the cleaners that are going into these rooms, they're developing strong allergies to Oxycide from inhaling all of the fumes over a long period of time. And so that exposure amounts to, they can get sores on their mucous membranes. I reviewed more than 100 different submissions from people. They had cracked hands, cracked skin from constantly touching surfaces. They've got stinging, watery eyes, headaches. You've got doctors and nurses that are walking into these rooms that might have been on vacation for a week. As soon as they walk into a sterilized room, they have something like an asthma attack. They can't do their jobs anymore because of these severe reactions from these fumes.
So, Scott, here's what puzzles me. There's been a class action brought in this case, but as you know, you can't class action individual injuries like you're talking about here. Some of these injuries are permanent injuries. I mean, you're talking about permanent injury to the lungs. You're talking about a whole host of things that don't go away. How is this being classed? I don't quite understand. You can't class an injury case, but I see this as being classed.
Exactly. So right now, there's been a class action filed, but we also see this becoming a mass tort. You know, there will be an MDL filed eventually to represent these doctors, nurses, cleaners on an individual basis to make sure that they can get compensated for these injuries. If they can't go into work anymore, you know, without suffering a severe allergic reaction, then we want to make sure that those folks are able to get paid as these individual lawsuits start progressing.
Yeah, well, I certainly see the possibilities of what we would call an individual injury case or a mass tort kind of case. But the thing that concerns me most is there's not even enough time at this point to figure out how bad the long-term injuries may be. So we'll have you back on the show and talk about this, because this is in hospitals all over the world at this point. This was sold as the new best standard of practice to use in a hospital, and now we're seeing this take place. Scott, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for your time, Fat Pap.